An executive producer of Showtime's The Circus. Also joining us is Ambassador Wendy Sherman, former Undersecretary of State. She was the United States lead negotiator for the Iran nuclear deal and is now an Msnbc Global Affairs contributor. And Ambassador Sherman, I want to start with you on this Trump nuclear threat, it sounds like, to Iran. I'm not taking it seriously, and I'm not taking it seriously based on the North Korean experience with the president and the 5 months he took us through of threatening North Korea before completely reversing course completely and trying to make best friends with Kim Jong-un. How do you read what the president said about Iran?
Well, I certainly think it was a distraction and deflection in the way that you described it. And somehow I think I ought to speak in all caps as if I will be heard louder. But I think we all know that when you're talking about serious things, a quieter voice makes a lot more sense. Indeed, I think that the president trying to goad Iran into a conflict. Secretary Pompeo gave a speech in California at the Reagan Library and really pushed hard, saying we're for the Iranian people and your government is corrupt and they're all hardliners and they're not going to give you a break, but we can. And he said that at the same time and invoked Ronald Reagan's call for freedom in his 1982 Westminster speech. He did that the couple of days before President Trump said he was going to take security clearances away from people who were speaking up and speaking their minds. So we're not exactly a beacon for freedom that Secretary Pompeo put out there. And we have a president that has a playbook for Iran and a playbook for North Korea, but no strategy to get an outcome that ensures the safety and security of America.
John, I want to read you what Tony Schwartz said about the Trump tweet. And Tony Schwartz, of course, the author, I was going to say co-author, but he's the real author of The Art of the Deal, the first Trump book.
I believe he wrote every word in the entire book, including the articles.
And really studied Donald Trump up close, got to know him. He said there was nothing strategic about Trump's schoolyard bully, all caps tweet about Iran. When he feels weak and vulnerable, he lashes out in an effort to recover his sense of self, which is so fragile and easily wounded.
I often scare people on television when I talk about Donald Trump, but dark and paranoid and ominous. I always think when he's tweeting about something, I shouldn't worry about it very much because it's mostly when he's tweeting about it, it's gibberish most of the time, right? And it is just deflection and projection and incoherent rambling. The stuff he doesn't tweet about is the stuff he cares about. What doesn't he tweet about? Doesn't tweet about Playboy models. Doesn't tweet about Michael Avenatti. Doesn't tweet about Stormy Daniels. Doesn't tweet very much about the people who he's trying to take their security clearances away. Every once in a while he does that, but then he he did today. But the stuff that scares him, the stuff that worries him, I'll tell you what he doesn't tweet about. He doesn't tweet about Paul Manafort very often, right? The people who are a genuine threat to Trump, the people who are, as you said before, there's been a lot of panic over the last 18 months. We've seen flashes of it. But right now, you really feel the walls closing in. And